Alright, in this one-day CAD project, we're creating Pac-Man and the 4 ghosts from the classic arcade game. We're here in Fusion, and whenever we create anything in CAD, we always start with a sketch. The key is thinking about the basic shapes that make up the object. Pac-Man is basically just a circle, so that's exactly where we'll start. We'll place the circle at the origin, and now to go from 2D to 3D, we'll use an extrude. After that, we'll add a fillet to soften the edges and give it that smooth arcade look. Next, we need to create Pac-Man's mouth. We'll sketch a triangle using 2 lines set at 30-degree angles above and below the x-axis. And then, to make the cut work, we need to create a closed profile. So we'll connect those outer edges to complete this triangle. Now we can do an extrude cut straight through the body. And there you go. We have the overall Pac-Man shape. Now we need to clean up his appearance. Pac-Man is obviously yellow, and I think plastic looks better for this project than metal, so we'll switch over to a yellow plastic material. Now we need that feature that actually makes this look like Pac-Man instead of just a weird moon wedge, and that's the eye. We'll sketch a small circle on the surface, and then we'll extrude it slightly outward to make it 3D. Pac-Man's eye is solid black, so we'll change the appearance there as well. Since the extrude was set to new body, that'll make coloring and editing much easier now. And there we go. Pac-Man is finished. Now let's create the ghosts. Again, we start with a sketch, and we're only going to build one ghost because later I'll show you the easy way to duplicate the rest. We'll start with a 3-point arc for the top of the ghost. We want a smooth rounded shape, almost like a semicircle. Then we'll have straight down vertical lines. And now we'll start on the bottom edge. We'll use the line tool to create those classic zigzag ghost waves. As I sketch these lines, I'm making sure the tops and the bottoms stay aligned by watching for the blue reference lines and the 90-degree constraint indicators. And you can see, because I've got those callouts, it's keeping everything sharp and clean. Now that we've got the bottom complete, we create that vertical line straight up, but you'll notice that that line is slightly angled, so we'll fix it with some constraints. First, we apply a vertical constraint, and then we'll add tangent constraint at the top to create a smooth flowing transition from that arc to those vertical lines. That is one beautiful ghost shape, I must say. Now that the sketch is complete, we'll extrude it using the same depth as Pac-Man, and then just like before, we'll add fillets around the edges to round everything over. I usually set the fillet depth equal to the extrusion depth so that the rounding goes fully edge to edge instead of looking partially rounded. And now we've got that overall ghost shape. Unlike Pac-Man, the ghosts have 2-part eyes, a white outer section and a black inner section. We'll start by sketching one circle for the white portion, and instead of sketching the second one, we're going to mirror this. So I'll create a construction line across the middle before mirroring, and that helps keep everything symmetrical. And now for the black pupil section. I don't actually want this to be concentric with the white portion of the eye. I want it touching the edge a little more, so instead of using a center diameter circle, I'm using a 2-point circle. The first click places one edge, and I do that on the center of the white part of the eye, and the second click goes to the outer rim of the white portion. I usually angle these pupils downward slightly, but you can point the eyes in whichever direction you want. And since these eyes will use different colors, I want each extrusion set to new body. That makes applying appearances way easier down the road. Fusion will normally hide the sketch after the first extrude, so if yours disappears, just click the eyeball icon in the browser to turn it back on. You'll know you did this correctly when each eye section highlights separately during the appearance change. Now apply the black pupils. And the white to the outer eye sections. And there you go. The ghost face is finished. A lot of beginners in my classroom will use move copy and duplicate this ghost manually over and over and over. The problem is, you only get one copy at a time, and your timeline gets cluttered really fast. So instead, I'm going to show you the better method: patterns. For this, since we're doing it a line, we'll use a rectangular pattern and just run it along one axis. I want to make sure that my objects are set to bodies. I'll hover over the entire ghost and then select the x-axis, moving out my ghosts and increasing the quantity to 4. And there we go. Pac-Man is now chasing the full 4 ghost lineup. Now I'm going to duplicate the appearance colors already in this design and then edit them into classic ghost colors. If you've never seen Pac-Man, we've got a red, a pink, an orange, and a teal ghost. Me being a design guy, I'm a little picky here, making sure the colors feel just right before applying them. Using that slider bar, going through, picking colors that I feel are just about the right shade. Once the appearances are ready, I can quickly assign each ghost its own color by dragging that ring over and there we have it. Pac-Man and the 4 ghosts fully modeled in Fusion. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and share it with a friend. And if you want more one-day CAD projects, check out this video right here for the latest project. Or if you want an entertainment break, go ahead and click on this playlist over here for even more CAD builds and engineering content out of my short playlist. Thanks for watching, and let's keep building.